Well, I noticed that he conveniently blamed private enterprise for high prices. That's getting it completely upside down. I mean, he can't solve the price problem by nationalising it. It's just not going to happen, is it?
No, it's not. And look, let's be very clear. The problems with high electricity prices in Australia are caused by government intervention over a very long time. Yes, most states have privatised the electricity system and the energy market in some respects. But again, I make the point, the system is so clouded with distortions, with subsidies, with regulations, with the fact that some modes of power generation like nuclear are outright banned by the Federal Environmental Diversity, Environmental Protection and Biodiversity Conservation Act. That's always a difficult one to pronounce. The fact of the matter is we have expensive electricity because nobody in their right mind would invest in assets that actually generate power because there is too much regulatory risk. And look, as much as I want to lift the ban on nuclear power, and a lot of people see that as a solution, my preferred solution would be to just focus on gas and coal, to take the foot off government, off the throat of providers of those modes of power generation and let them rip and let us do what we do and do well. Because the fundamental fact is, Fred, that we could be to cheap energy in Australia what China is to cheap labour. That is our natural competitive advantage, and we are squandering it because we want to feel good by building windmills. That's not good enough, and it's not serving us well, and it is not making the most of the economic opportunity that God has bestowed on this country.
Now let's talk about one of the issues that the two major parties actually differ on in Victoria. It's the suburban rail loop, which is Dan's next big infrastructure project. The coalition has said they won't back it, but Dan's backing it to the hilt, and now he's got some very serious support from Federal Finance Minister Katie Gallagher. She proposes to co-fund it with the government, and she has said today, quote, "There is a very detailed business case that underpins this project and a very positive cost-benefit ratio for the project," unquote. Now, Gideon, I noticed she didn't use the word profit. It's not going to make one, is it?
No, it's not. And look, some infrastructure doesn't turn a profit. Some infrastructure funded by government is there to address market failure, i.e. things that the private sector won't provide on its own. That's all, fair enough. But in this case, this is an enormously costly project for what I see as very little gain. I mean, the costs it will take for stage one of the project alone are something in the order of billions and billions and billions of dollars. Now, Victoria just cannot afford spending outlays like this anymore. The state is flat broke. In fact, research from the IPA that has been done recently by my colleagues Dan Wild and Kevin Yao indicates that Victoria performs by far the worst on a range of economic indicators, all the vital ones. It's the highest taxing state, the highest spending state, the state with the highest debt, the highest deficit, the highest public sector payroll, and the fastest growing rate of government expenditure. We cannot afford vanity projects like this. And I must say, you and I sit here and people like us sit here and talk about the fact that Matthew Guy has not differentiated himself enough on things with the incumbent government. But on this, he is on the right track. He has courageously made the decision to announce the scrapping of that policy. And I think that will actually work in his favour. I really do.